News Radio, the voice of vaping. In each show, we share the latest about regulations and things you need to know, plus upcoming conferences and fests, along with interviews with the movers and shakers in this fabulous vape space. Are you looking to get into this ever-expanding marketplace? Do you want to master this industry? Listen up as Norm Bauer, the Vape Mentor, shares it all. And here's your host, Norm Bauer.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Vape News Radio, the voice of vaping, and we are the audio arm of Vape News Magazine, the #1 magazine for the industry in the world. This is show number 14. If you're just joining us, maybe for the very first time, thank you and welcome. We are downloaded about 40,000 times per month right now, and that's a worldwide market.
Wow.
And here's why I do what I do. I really dig this business on so many levels. One is it gives me a great satisfaction to be a mentor to people who want to learn, but it also gives me access to a lot of people who I normally would not ever even know of, let alone get a chance to speak with. So one of the, what I'm going to call major players in this industry is a gentleman by the name of Phil Busardo. And I never really knew much about Phil. I'd heard his name in passing, but since I don't watch a lot of his YouTube videos, of which he's created hundreds of them, I really wasn't paying much attention. But this past September at ECC, which was the largest gathering of vapors in the world, about 25,000 people, they had a panel of about 6 people, and Phil was on the panel. So I had a chance to say hi to him. What's interesting is he's an engineer. He lives back in New York, and this is not even his full-time thing, but he has left a legacy. He's created a legacy, and as a matter of fact, he has, like I said, he has hundreds of videos on YouTube. And I said, so tell me about the very first video that you did. And the first video that he did, guys, and for those of you who are vapors will really appreciate the irony here, is he did a review of a pen, not a smoking pen, but a writing pen. He actually put a writing pen in his mouth and said, "No, the draw on this is really not that good." And so he kind of dissed that pen as not being something to buy. So without any further ado, Paul, go ahead and crank that up, and let's listen from the words of the master himself.
Welcome back to Vape News Radio, the voice of vaping. This is your eminent host, Norm Bauer, and I have a very special treat for you today. As you all know, I try to find what I call the significant movers and shakers in the industry and kind of introduce them to you. And there's a gentleman that you've probably heard his name before. His name is Phil Busardo. And you might not even know who Phil is or what he's all about or why he's famous. So today, we're going to answer all those questions. So Phil, welcome to Vape News Radio.
Thanks very much, Norm. You counted me down. I don't believe I've ever been counted down before. That was very exciting.
Usually you're the guy who walks away from the ring. You're never the guy on the floor where they count you down, right?
Yeah. Listen, you did a couple of things that already have bothered me, so let's talk about those things first. Movers and shakers and vape famous. I hate both of those things.
Why?
Because I don't want to be vape famous. I just want to be the guy who's making these videos, who's helping out vapors. That's the charter. That's the goal, is to get people off of traditional tobacco cigarettes. That's why I do what I do. I don't do this to be famous. I don't do this to be a mover and a shaker. I just do this to help people out. That's why I do what I do.
But, dude, that's what makes it all the better because, one, it shows your humbleness and your modesty, and I recognize and appreciate that. But regardless of why you're doing it, tell us what you're doing so that everyone knows exactly what you're doing because you are like the king of modding videos.
King of modding? Oh my God, that's definitely not me. So what I do is I do reviews on YouTube of vaping products. I also have a website called tasteyourjuice.com, which I've worked real hard on, making it just kind of a one-stop shop for all things vaping, giving people as good of information as I could come across, and just to pass that along to you guys. So I mean, as far as the videos go, it's always been my goal to provide just really good, solid information. There's a whole lot of opinion injected in there, but I try to produce as much fact as I can via testing with a whole bunch of different test gear that I have. And the goal has been to help people, but also to put a smile on your face along the way as well.
All right. So what's interesting, Phil, is that you are not in the vaping industry. You are what, an engineer?
Yeah, the official title is a senior systems specialist. I work in the telecommunications information sciences space as a You can call it an engineer. I mean, I do speech recognition, grammar development, deployment. I do system configuration. I do technical writing. So the degree in college was for computer engineering technology, which was like one half software, one half hardware.
All right, so somehow, somewhere along the line, you became a smoker, and later on, you became a vapor.
Boy, is that the truth. Yeah, well, I became a smoker, a long time ago, probably 16 years old, right? 16, because my cousin, who was the coolest person that I knew at the time, she smoked. My friend, who was the other coolest person that I knew at the time, he smoked. Mom smoked. Let's see, Dad smoked a tobacco pipe, so yeah, I became a smoker as well at the ripe old age of 16.
So you're talking about probably during the 70s, right? That you're because you're a baby boomer as well, right?
I think it was the 80s, to be honest with you.
Nice try. All right, so here's what's interesting is that, once upon a time, smoking was cool. And maybe I'm